So about an hour later, we scrubbed it all down, power washed it, and you can see there's still definitely evidence that we need to do a paint job. There's some cracks in the paint and the clear coat that are just starting to come through. Paint's really faded on the hood and on the plastic side skirts, the plastic nose, which these all had. But otherwise, we've got a really, I mean, you can see the sky in the paint on the roof still. We got a really good piece to work with here, guys. We got, don't look at the ugly guy with the beard, that's me. We got a really good piece to start with. I can't see anything that I need to fix right away. There's no like rust damage or rust holes. You know, there's this one dent right, and there's a little chip of paint right there, and there's a little dent right here, probably about the size of a $50. You probably can't even really see it that much, and that's all the damage on the whole body. So next part 2 of the video, I don't know how many parts we're going to have, but part 2 is going to be, well, part 2 is going to be, yeah, we're going to get inside this thing and hook power up and see what works and what doesn't in the dash. We'll start cleaning up the insides, which, you know, definitely need cleaning. Like I said, there's no rust anywhere. And we do have some wasp friends, built a nice nest in the door. That's how long it's been sitting. It's not active anymore, but it's a huge nest. Headliner's good and clean. There's no damage there. It's not even hanging. I mean, you know, aside from some mess, you know, and a couple of little, you know, sun cracking from the sun, this is as bad as the seats are, is right there. Otherwise, the seats are complete and firm. No real cracks. The little trigger handles here missing for the memory function, or for the release. Let's go see what the trunk looks like. Trunk release works. That's a good sign. You ever seen these open? The trunk on these things is gigantic. Oh my God, and the struts are still good. I'm impressed. I am very impressed right now. Oh my God, the guy gave me engine, chassis, and gave me the Chrysler service manual. All 4 of the factory center caps, even though 2 of the wheels are missing. All the engine covers. All the parts he took off to diagnose the blown head gas. Everything's here to rebuild this thing. Even the super rare, hard to find sunshade that goes in the trunk that blocks off the contents of your trunk from people prying their eyes inside. This thing is literally a dream. It's practically a barn find. Knowing you got to rebuild the motor, but everything else is actually physically here, is unreal. I said I just washed it, so we're going to get all this crap out so we don't build up any nasties, and get this all cleaned out really good. Are you serious? Oh my God, the little washer tank is still intact back here. Those are usually busted on these. Now, for those of you that don't know, this car was a clone. It was actually built in Japan, right alongside the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. And Dodge had a partnership at the time with Mitsubishi. So a lot of your Dodge products in the late 80s, early 90s were ironically just like certain Mitsubishi products. And that's because they were just rebadged and styled slightly differently. And in those days, a Mitsubishi was actually a pretty damn good car. I mean, you remember the days of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Turbo and all these cars that, you know, your import tuner guys absolutely loved, because you could buy it and completely smoke a Mustang or a Camaro, and it was in the same, you know, bracket price-wise. I just cleaned this thing, and now I'm getting it all dirty again, getting all this old Oh, what the hell? It'll get another bath, right? So, this thing is a freaking time capsule is what it is. It's unreal. It's all here. It's complete. It's a whole car. And I'm going to rebuild it. And I'm going to do $6 million man on it. We're going to do faster, stronger, better. We're going to kind of bring it up to current standards of what a Mitsubishi Halo car or a Dodge Halo car should be. So I'm looking at getting 500 horse or better to the ground, which isn't that hard to do, especially with an all-wheel drive car. It has factory forged pistons and a factory forged crank. I got 2 engine blocks, the one in the car and the one that he already had for it that he never got around to rebuilding. So ARP bottom end, ARP head studs, basically everything ARP to make it bulletproof. And then we're going to try and get this thing to the 550 to 650 horsepower range to the wheels, which means 750 to the crank, which actually isn't too hard to do with these motors. They're built to take it when they're built correctly. Let's see if I got a wasp nest in this door. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't. Outside of the sun damage to the top of the panels, no waspy nests. We're all good inside here. And outside of the damage to the top of the door panel, the door panels are in great shape. Seats are in good shape. I see he's got this side panel off, which I have no idea why that side panel's off. There's no need to take that off to work on the engine, so my only guess is he took it off to address something electronic and never got it back on. Which is fine. I mean, you got some nuts and bolts in the bag here. But, yeah. So stay tuned, guys. Part 2 will be coming soon. See you on the flip side.